So the 90s were a weird time. Games like this, Super Mario RPG, came out. A great game. I really enjoyed this game, and today's all about Super Mario RPG, but we cannot deny that this game, honestly, is a little bit bizarre. I mean, you're Mario, yes, and you build out this party of different characters, from a cloud named Mallow to a weird toy named Geno, just to go save the princess. Very, very normal stuff. But that princess is someone that was stolen by Bowser, yet, here's the deal, we're more worried about the castle. Bowser ends up joining your group, and you can use him to do crazy attacks and crazy things. I think that Super Mario RPG, as odd as it may be, is definitely worth looking into, but let's more talk about what you're getting yourself into when playing this game. This is a little bit less of a review, and these will be less of reviews, and more a what you're going to get yourself into, gameplay mechanics and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and check out this remaster. I don't really mean remaster, I mean remake, because there are actually a good amount of changes, quality of life improvements. They also made this game easier somehow. It's actually really easy. I didn't get a game over and I played on normal mode. Now, I'm very familiar with RPGs, JRPGs to be specific. Yeah, it was somewhat easy. Let's start with how long it takes. It is said online it takes between 15 and 17 hours to finish. I finished it in 13 and change. At first, I thought $60 for a 13-hour game, but then I realized it was one of the 2 games I finished last year. 2 kids, a wife, a full-time job, and trying to play video games. I welcome the 13-hour games, and you should too. It's actually very worth it, and I want to go back and play it again, so it's not that big of a commitment. Speaking of commitments, I feel like they were really committed to making this a traditional RPG experience. Now, what I mean by that is there is item management, and there's no limits to your item. Back in the original game, you had 29 slots because there was a garbage slot to make 30, but you always had to have that garbage slot. This allows you to manage your items, change different things, have different attacks based on those items. It's actually pretty exciting. And for anyone who's trying to get into Japanese-style RPGs, this is actually a really good introduction to the genre. Very approachable. The enemies are really interesting. They're kind of weird. You have anything from a talking sword, which is really the main bad guy, because Peach and Bowser can join your party. Bowser steals Peach at the beginning, but then you end up getting her back, and then she joins your party, and everything's good and dandy. Bowser ends up saying, hey, I'd rather get my castle back than attack you, so he joins your party too. And with all this, they again added some quality of life improvements, such as saving wherever you want to save. I think that's one of the biggest, actually, quality of life improvements that we've seen. Oh, come here, a little bit closer. Here's the reason why. Imagine you play for 2 hours, you get through a section, you're having a good time, and then you go ahead and face a boss, forget to add a little bit more HP to your status bar, they one-shot you, and then you now have a game over. You're gonna go back and you're gonna play another 2 hours of exactly what you did before. This was gaming in the 90s, actually. This is why games felt harder. This is why some games were harder. There was a lot higher stakes. I think that's probably what lends itself to an easier experience. Let's say you're not doing so well in the battle. You can just restart the battle by restarting the game, and you should be fine. I don't know if I necessarily did that or not, but that is something you can do because you save anytime you hit the next screen. Auto-saving is turned on. Yes, there's the save blocks, because this game, you used to have to actually hit a save block and go on and play the rest of the game with a potentially unsaved moment sitting in there. This quality of life improvement, along with the added item slots and the fact that you have more information about your enemies, are just some of the additions that they added. They also added a whole new action type timing thing that has a gauge on the side for triple attack or triple threat, or what I call Three's a Company. Yeah, there's special moves that, based on the party, change. They can either do one single attack to an enemy, huge damage, or every enemy on the field. These things happen as you take damage, inflict damage, or hit the action command. The action command is just reacting to either an enemy coming towards you and hitting you, or you hitting the enemy, and increases the damage. This is something that already existed in the game, right? This isn't new to Super Mario RPG. In fact, it was a really cool thing in Super Mario RPG, carried on to Paper Mario and other games there, but not an addition in this game. It is somewhat easier to hit an action command, though. That I will say. I guess one of the real questions is this game worth the $60 price tag? You're not going to hear a big complaint from me about, oh, it should be $40, oh, it should be $30. At the end of the day, franchises and games alike are ones that people have nostalgia tied to. This game itself, they could have re-released it in its old-fashioned and charged full price, and I'm sure there were plenty of people that would have purchased it. Some people complain that this should be a $40 game. I personally don't really mind the $60 price tag. It's also something you can use the vouchers for, which I made a video about that kind of thing, which you can check out at the end of this. But honestly, this game I feel like is an incredible entry into the RPG, Japanese style RPG genre. For those of you who have never played a JRPG, this is a great start, which I've already mentioned. I think that the very lax and somewhat quirky nature of this game lends itself to a really, really good gaming experience. The fact that it's also 13 to 15 hours long, which is nothing compared to a Japanese style RPG. Japanese style RPGs last for hundreds of hours at times. Well, maybe not hundreds of hours, but you get the point. 13 to 15 hours, very, very worth it. And then there's a lot of post-game. A ton of post-game to easily triple the amount of time you play in this if you want to get 100%. You have boss battles that you can redo, you have different items, you have different secret characters to unlock. These kind of things add to the experience, and I think really just add robustness to the value proposition that is Super Mario RPG. This is history. This game is history. I'm not gonna lie when I tell you that this game, honestly, is just so charming to play. You pair it with, the Super Nintendo controller by Nintendo themselves, and you got yourself quite a wonderful little experience. I mean, just looking at how they remastered everything, it looks great. The unfortunate thing that we are gonna talk about is that this has some frame rate issues. Sure, it doesn't seamlessly scale, and there was a little bit of a visual discrepancy from time to time. But I don't let that get in the way. I have paired this with the M Classic, which is a really great device that upscales stuff for you, but that's another video for another time. I genuinely feel like this game is worth it. It's a snapshot in time. It is a historical game. It is one that is a picture of what was and now what still is. I feel like this, along with Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door and other games similar in fashion, are testaments to a genre that really is bringing on new gamers and new people into this space. I can't speak highly enough of this game. If it's something you want to look into, let me know. If you've already played it, I want to know, who's your favorite character? Mine, genuinely, is always and will always be Mario. Geno is cool, and so is Mallow, but seriously, Mario is the freaking man, and I'm a huge fan of Mario. Let me know if you liked this, what you're gonna get, because again, we're not gonna do reviews here. It's gonna be more what you're getting yourself into. What is the fun part of this? I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what not to buy. I'm not gonna tell you what you should buy. I'm simply gonna say, if this is something you're interested in, this is what you're going to get, and this is what I believe the game itself will offer you. Again, this game is fun for me. Mario is the man in so many different ways. So I'm going to actually probably restart my save file on this sometime soon. If you want to join the live streams, we're going to do them here, not over on Twitch. And that is just because one place for everything. All right, guys. As always, happy gaming.